Hi everyone! If you have been around my channel for a while, then you know what this towel on my head means. It means we're in for a hair tutorial. But before we get into the tutorial, I just want to say a quick thank you to all of my new subscribers and to my longtime faithful subscribers who have been with me from the very beginning. I'm so grateful for you all just sharing my videos, commenting, sharing my pictures from Facebook and Pinterest. You have helped grow my channel beyond what I ever imagined. So thank you. If you are not already subscribed, I hope that you will consider hitting that button below. And now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. So what I'm doing today is I am in the middle of filming a 28 days of hairstyles video. Along the way, I have been trying to challenge myself to do some different styles. So I did this style several days ago and really liked how it turned out. So that's what we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be kind of a mixture of my last style with no spikes, but with some spikes. And you'll see what I mean as we get going. Okay, so we're gonna start like always, roughly comb through the hair. And then today, because I'm doing kind of a little bit of a flatter look, I'm gonna use the Wella Root Shoot. This has hold, but not quite as much hold as the Catwalk Root Boost. And I'm just going to put some of this on my hands. This is a new bottle, so it's very foamy right now. So I'm gonna put this through the crown here, and then a little bit through the back as well. And then I am going to bring just a little bit more through this front section and the sides. And I am now going to kind of start combing this forward. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of argan oil. This isn't a necessary step, but it does help add a little bit of shine. And thankfully, my hair is pretty well conditioned. I did use a hair mask this morning, so it's feeling pretty soft, but just like that little extra bit of shine. Okay, so this should be starting to look familiar. As I did the last tutorial with no spikes, this is how we started off. But as I'm blow drying, you're gonna notice that I am not going to be flattening this back, and that is because my hair color is nearing the end. So what happens in the back is there's just a little bit of blonde on the tips, and it can look a little strange when it's completely flat. So I'm going to show you a trick that I do. So let's go ahead and get started blow drying. Noticed after I switched to the cool low setting, I got here to the front and realized that this was still damp. So I went back to the hot just to make sure it got nice and dry. All right, so now what we're gonna do is, you can see kind of have everything going forward here, but then we've got kind of a little craziness right here. And then the back, although it is kind of spiky, it's a little different than I normally do when it's spiky. So we're gonna go in with the flat iron, and I got this question. I usually put it on about 370 to 400 depending. This is a smaller flat iron, so I put it on 400. The hair's not really in there that long, so I don't feel like it's causing that much damage. If you have long hair, definitely would not do 400, but with short hair, the heat is on the hair so little time, I don't really feel like it does too much damage. So I'm gonna just use this here, and I'm going to straighten and kind of again pull towards the face here on the sides. And I'm going to flat iron a little bit here, and then through the front section, just want to pull this down. And you can see I have this natural kind of weird curl that sometimes appears here in the front. So I'm just gonna try and straighten that out just a little bit. Here on the sides, kind of same thing. And then here on the top, I'm just going to add just a tiny little bit of lift. You can see this section is still kind of short from my last cut, but just want to add a little extra lift there. And then this section, you just want to make sure you don't really have any curls. So we're going to go a little crazy there. Okay, I think that's about it. So now I'm going to take, this is the Enjoy Dry Wax. I always get a lot of questions about this. The brand is called Enjoy, and then the actual product is Dry Wax. And I'm going to go in with, I would say, kind of almost a large pea size to start with. And I always just rub it between my fingers, my hands, get it very well distributed. And now I'm going to work it a little bit through the back. And then here, I'm just going to comb this forward. Here on the sides, kind of forward, and then I'm pulling out. I'm not flattening, just kind of pulling out just a little bit. And now I'm going to just start shaping this front part, pulling down, and you can see I do have, again, a very deep part right here, and I am going to keep this forward, and then I'm going to tuck this back. And then on this side, I am also going to tuck part of this hair and keep part of it forward. And you can just decide how much of that you want forward and how much you want tucked. Okay, now as I was mentioning earlier, because my color is growing out back here, I have been liking to kind of tousle, kind of halfway between tousle and spike the back. So I've worked that through, and then here on the sides, if you feel like you need to, I'm just going to take my flat iron and pull out the sides just a little bit right here. And then here through the top, I am just kind of taking the pieces of hair and rubbing them together like this so that it's not an even rounded spike. It's kind of a little helter-skelter. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at the back. And this section right here is always my trouble spot. So if you have that too, just rub the palm of your hand right there, and then pull the hair out with that Enjoy dry wax, and that's going to help give it lift right in that section. All right, now it's time to set everything in place with hairspray. I'm using the Aussie Instant Freeze hairspray. And here on the sides, just going to piece some of those pieces right there, and then make sure that's tucked behind the ears, and then piece this section. Same thing over here. And then you can see right here, it's up to you what you want to do. I kind of like the crazy funkiness of kind of having part of it going forward and up. So it's up to you how you want that to look, but I think I'm going to leave it kind of like that. All right, so here is our finished look. And I know some of you are partial to one or the other. You like it spiked, you like it flatter. Here's the combination of both. And like I said earlier, by kind of tousling the back of the hair, it helps disguise your highlight growth. So if you're nearing the end of your coloring and it's nearing time for you to get new highlights, try tousle in the back and it'll kind of disguise that grow out just a little bit. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. For those of you that have a similar hairstyle or want a similar hairstyle, hopefully I gave you some inspiration of some new things to try with your style. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.